perpetual war of the future. In the endless warfare doctrine, though most had different terminology for it, and it was hidden, as most things are, within sci-fi. We find that within Orwell's work, 1984, that to create the impetus and social acceptance of perpetual war, and by extension the totalitarian regime of the future, that the two countries would have to agree to small-scale nuclear conflict, or as we see now, potential chemical and biological conflict, though both of these scenarios will probably be contrived by the media for the most part. Now, in the modern sense, this will be essentially, you take out one of our regions or cities, and we will take out one of yours. These will be with several tactical nuclear devices, or non-nuclear MOABs. This will kill, let us say, 50 million, and consequently create the social and political motivation to reorient the country into an authoritarian image of total control for, quote, safety and security, and the war effort, quote. We already see the central bank digital currencies coming into view, and the past 2 years of conditioning was to prepare us for a social credit system akin to the CCPs. Most individuals after such a catalysing event, that of nuclear weaponry, real or contrived, that being simply MOABs being used instead of tactical nuclear devices, will create the necessary hatred and emotional investment within the populace to do anything commanded of them, in a sort of primal tribalism that will seek to create universal conformity and drive out the naysayer and dissident classes. Again, no one really knows the visual difference of a tactical nuclear device and a non-nuclear MOAB. It is very little, and I believe them the same thing, and thus they can pass this off as a nuclear attack. That is one potential, and they seem to be treading that path now. However, they do need limited warfare and starvation to ensure the justification is there for the soon-to-be needlecraft explorations. That is another reason for this all. However, will it be a Mad Max-like total anarchy that ensues after this nuclear strike, or non-nuclear MOAB? I hope so, but most will be so terrified and traumatised that they will be suffering from en masse mind control or MKUltra, a sort of mental compartmentalisation, and will simply follow any commands given. September the 11th and that traumatising event was something similar to that. Keep the justification for the retributive slaughter of the enemy short, one-dimensional, and base it around moral lines, good and evil. Most will then buy it. H.G. Wells wrote this in Shape of Things to Come in the 1930s or so. Quote, "A long economic slump causes a major war that leaves Europe devastated and threatened by plague. What do we see coming into view now? In decades of chaos, with much of the world reverting to medieval conditions, pilots and technicians, formerly serving in various nations' air forces, maintain a network of functioning airfields. Around this nucleus, technological civilization is rebuilt, with the pilots and other skilled technicians eventually seizing worldwide power and sweeping away the remnants of the old nation-states. Technocracy. A benevolent dictatorship is set up, paving the way for world peace by abolishing national divisions, enforcing the English language, promoting scientific learning, and outlawing religion. The enlightened world citizens are able to depose the dictators peacefully and go on to breed a new race of super talents, able to maintain a permanent utopia, unquote. H.G. Wells made a prediction of a 25-year global conflict here, from 1940 to 1960, though the period of time is not to be taken literally. Essentially, it is a conflict that would be perpetual by the standards of the day. It is said of 1984, quote, "In 1984 there is a perpetual war between Oceania, Eurasia and East Asia, the superstates that emerged from the global atomic war," unquote. Doom, I would say, would be living in this society as it seems to be progressing right now, without any potential for change. We're at a sort of crossroads now. That potential for change. potential for us to better our position, and I know that might sound absolutely insane with what I have just expressed, but chaos and danger is simply opportunity, with strings attached. I know it sounds strange, but with what they seem to be doing right now, I believe it will eventually backfire. It inevitably does in all regimes of this nature, and certainly of this scope, and once it does, if we possess the gall and gumption, then the world shall be our oyster, in that war-torn, dark age. Igne natura renovator integra. Look at the bottom of a crucifix, INRI. Quote, through fire is the earth reborn whole, unquote. It is the death and resurrection, the process of cleansing us of our past iniquity, and a spirited renewal of our souls. It is the process of the saving grace, the foretold Saviour of man. The future, though it will be difficult, has an abundance of opportunity awaiting us, if we but only reach out and take it.